And I want to say hi to everyone who's on the chat with me. I am on late at night, and I'm on late at night because I'm literally going to do something for just a few of you that are here, and I'm going to delete this video very, very soon. And so, why am I doing that? Well, because we just developed a new program in the Black Business School, and a lot of people don't know about it. I'm not telling everybody about it yet, but it has to do with the selling of stock options. And so what we decided to do was for those that want to learn and go deeper into all the different ways there are to make money by selling stock options, we decided to create something that is pretty cool. And I wanted to lay this out for you guys so you guys can see it, give you an opportunity to join at a substantially deep discounted price early if that's something you want to do. And just test it out, just see how it goes. And so I want to say hi to everybody. Give me a yes in the chat if you can hear me okay. Let me know what city you're from. I always like to know what city you guys are chiming in from. And let's go ahead and get started. So let me go ahead and add in one more. Do a couple housekeeping items on here to get this situation straight. Okay. Hey, Lyman, how are you? Hey, Lyman Ortega, good to see you. All right. So today what I want to talk about is how to make money without working. And one of the things I want to start off with is explaining that there are different tiers to making money. There is the tier where you are, where you grow up as a kid and your mother tells you if you want to make money, you got to go to work. Everybody who makes money has to work. You got to get a job. If you don't work, you don't eat. I don't know if y'all remember that. Anybody else remember that? Anybody else get that when you were a kid? And so that work, if you don't work, you don't eat. The mindset is something that many of us are raised with. But the thing is that there are higher levels to making money. You can actually go to the next tier, which is where you actually get yourself out of a job. You tell your boss to kiss your butt, and then you go ahead and you become an entrepreneur. And a lot of people become what they call solopreneurs, where you're making more money and you have your freedom, but you're working really, really hard. So I don't know how many entrepreneurs are in the building. How many of you have a business and you're working yourself into the ground right now, but you're free. So you like the freedom, right? So that's a good thing. So all the entrepreneurs in the house, raise your hand. And then after that, you go to the next level where you learn how to scale. Because an entrepreneur, you can only work more, maybe 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week. Then you learn how to hire people and delegate tasks, and you learn technology, which allows you to go from working 80 hours a week to 4,000 hours a week. And that's when you start really making a lot of money and you're working extremely hard. But a lot of people don't talk about that fourth level. There's the fourth level of making money. And excuse me, the rapper 50 Cent, he's apparently been financially educated on some level because he mentioned this in an interview, and I agree with him. He said that you're not really making money until you make money without working. Give me a yes or no in the chat if you understand what I'm saying. You should get to a point where your money is working for you, where all that hard work that you're putting in is going to generate assets that will go out and make money for you, even when you're not doing anything, where you can put your money into an investment account and earn money from the investment account or whatever the case may be. Okay, so how many of you would like to get to that point? How many of you would like to get to the point where you and your kids and your grandkids and your great-grandkids and your great-great-great-grandkids can make money without working? Because once one generation does it, all the generations can do it. You understand? Like once you do it, once you set it up, if you teach the skill set to maintain that, then that can be passed down to your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. That's what I'm doing with my kids. And so what I'm going to do is actually, for those of you that are in here, and just so you know, like I said, this video is not going to be around online very long. It's part of a conversation I had today at the Power Networking Conference, and I'm really kind of laying this out here to get some feedback on it. So I'm going to just talk to you guys about how I make money without working, and it's pretty awesome, and I think you're going to like it. I think you're going to be highly impacted by this. So give me a check. Give me a yes in the chat if you're ready to rock and roll, if you're ready to get the conversation started. It's not going to take a lot of your time. And at the end, in fact, what I'll do is I will reward you by giving you guys the stock pick of the week that I like. There's a stock. What was the stock that let me make sure I get it. Oh, there you go. Let me write it down, because I found some stocks from my students. So if you stay to the end, I will give you my stock pick of the week, and you can have something also to invest in directly. All right, so let me know if you can see the slides, okay? There should be a slideshow up on the screen. It says how to make money without working. Let me know if you guys see that. Give me a yes in the chat if you see that, okay? All right, so here's where we're going to go with this. So we're going to talk about the power of selling stock options. A lot of people don't talk about it very much. And also, this is something I learned a great deal about from my doctoral program when I was getting my PhD. And and I'm gonna tell you, it really, when I really started to apply it, it really changed my life. Like it really, kind of took my investing to the next level. I was already pretty good at investing, but it's funny how you can know something and understand something. And I've always understood stock options on a very high mathematical level. But it wasn't until I really started to apply it that I said, wait a minute, I think I have a little bit of an advantage here. And I started using this to make money for my family. And so now I've got cousins that invest with me, all kinds of relatives that I make money for, and it's really, really exciting for me. And I want to lay this out for you guys. So here we go. All right. So the question is, why are you here? Why are you listening to me when there's a million things you could be doing? I mean, you could be out, I don't know, at the club or something. But some of you are here because you want to get better. You want to generate passive streams of income for your family. You want to level up your life. That's why you're going to be successful, because you're willing to make those investments when a lot of people are not. You also want to invest in a way that's safe and affordable and impactful for your family and for your community. And then lastly, you want to leave a legacy. You want to leave a legacy of generational wealth. So a lot of people, unfortunately, don't do that. As you know, I don't know. Give me a yes or no in the chat. If you grew up without an inheritance. Everybody who grew up without any sort of inheritance, give me a yes in the chat. Let me know if you went out into the world and nobody left you any assets, nobody left you any money, nobody hooked you up with any resources. Give me a yes if that's you, because that's me. That was my story. I didn't have anything. I didn't even have a biological father. I had a nice father who took his place, but nobody left me anything. I didn't know what that felt like, And I'm gonna tell you, it feels hard. A lot of the stuff that we go through is preventable, but we go through it because somebody makes us go through it. Somebody let us go through that because they didn't make a plan. So you're not going to do that to your kids because you're smarter than that. So, so what do you want to avoid? Well, you want to avoid the pain of generational curses. A lot of us, give me a yes in the chat if you feel that you've been hit by generational curses of any form. If you feel that you've been hit by maybe some type of abuse that you didn't deserve, let me know if you feel like you've been hit with some kind of abandonment that shouldn't have happened to you. Give me a guess if you feel like you just were cursed with some crappy relatives. I was talking to George C. Frazier today, along with Mike Roberts. Mike Roberts is a great guy, and he's a billionaire, by the way. These are the kinds of people that come to the Power Networking Conference, and and George was telling me, he said your friends that you make in your network are God's way of apologizing. It's God's way of apologizing for the fact that your relatives are so trifling and your relatives are so crappy. And so ultimately, some of us have to find friends that can make up for our lost relatives, the ones who should have been there for us and who weren't. Also, there is a trauma that comes with financial insecurity. My wife is an expert on trauma. She's an expert on the subconscious mind, and she actually introduced me to the many ways that trauma can destroy your thinking. Trauma can really make things hard for you. Trauma can really put you in a space where it's really difficult for you to recover from the things that you've gone through. And so what I want to do is I want to ask you guys real quick. Could you give me a yes in the chat if you were able to see those slides moving? I put the slides up on the screen, but I don't know if they're actually moving. And if I have to do it in a different way, I will. Give me a yes in the chat if you were actually able to see that, because I'm a little bit concerned that maybe that all wasn't coming through. So let me know, were the slides moving or were they staying still? Give me a yes or no. Were they kind of moving and you saw different things, or were they sitting still where it was the same stuff on the screen the entire time? So they were moving. So Sade, they were moving. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. All right. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and do the full screen again, because I was a little bit worried that it wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. All right. So here, so ultimately you have also the other thing that I think we are trying to get past is we have a type of stress that comes with working for other people. So think about this. You have the trauma of financial insecurity. You have the pain of generational curses. You have the stress of working for other people. All these things compound. Pain, trauma, and stress. I mean, that's it kind of makes you feel like it just kind of sucks to be Black. And I don't believe it has to be that way. I don't believe you have to work for other people. I don't believe that being black means you have to be financially insecure. People just put that on you. I don't believe that being black means you have to have generational curses. I believe that there can be some degree of intentionality to kind of help you pass that. So the question that some of you may ask is, well, who is Boyce Watkins? Why am I even listening to this dude? What in the world could he say to me that would make my life different? Well, I was born to a 17-year-old single mother. I was a product of a lot of generational curses myself. That's a picture of me. Give me a yes or no if you see the picture of me as a baby at my second birthday party. That's me when I think I was either 2 or 3. Let me know if you see that picture on the screen of me at my second birthday party as a little baby. And I was a product of a lot of generational curses. I also am a guy who was a victim of a dream job. Okay, you don't see it. All right. So you know what? I don't know why these slides aren't moving. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do it this way. Then that way you can see it a little bit better. So my apologies for that. I wish I could get this right. So see, this is why you got to test stuff before you do it. All right. So here we go. I know you can. I assume you can see that. Okay. So ultimately, as a kid, I was it was tough. It wasn't easy, and I went through some things, but at the same time, I was able to kind of overcome some stuff. And at that time, when I was a kid, I used to dream of a certain job. I used to have a dream job, and the thing about a dream job is that that's an oxymoron. A lot of people talk about their dream job. I want a dream job, and here's the thing: I don't believe you should be dreaming about labor. I don't think you should be dreaming about servitude. Servitude is not a dream. Servitude is a nightmare. And so I was given my dream job, and I made $115,000 a year at Syracuse University. So I'm a young black man, 31 years old, making $115,000 a year. What more could I ask for? Well, the problem was that it was stressful, and people didn't. It was tough. It was tough. And I said, okay, so the racism is all the way at the top of the food chain. So I started trying to aim for a different dream. So some things I tried to do with myself to better myself started off with education. I believed at that time, education was kind of the key to everything. And so how many educated black people we got in the room? How many of y'all went to school for a little while or got educated even outside of school? All the educated black people, raise your hand in the chat if you are a person who has always felt that you've done your best to do the right thing and make good choices and better yourself. A lot of us have, and I think that that's something to be very proud of. And so in college, I was the Wall Street Journal Outstanding Graduating Senior. I also got a master's in mathematical statistics and a PhD in finance. I was the only African American on the planet to get a PhD in finance during the year 2002. Also, I taught at the University of Kentucky, Indiana University, Syracuse University, the Ohio State University. I also taught in China. I've written several books on finance and other topics: Black American Money 1, 2, and 3, The New Black Power. I'm working on a current book called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. Also, we created the Black Business School that has 148,000 students worldwide, and we've gotten over 500 million views on YouTube and other channels, things like that. So we've really done a good job getting out there. We're very proud because we didn't get corporate sponsorship. Nobody backed us. We did this with our bare hands and on our own 2 feet. My best investment that I ever made in my life is the investment that is on your screen. You should be able to see it. Is when I got on one knee and I expressed my profound love for a beautiful black woman who agreed to become my wife. That was my biggest investment ever. And I wanted to encourage everybody that if you ever really want to win, invest in a good black woman. Find you a quality woman out there somewhere and go ahead and consider making that commitment. Find you a good black man. That way you have an excellent teammate. That's how you win. That's the part of investing that people don't talk about. We don't talk about investing in our relationships. You're not supposed to build wealth all by yourself. You do it as a collective. And so I had some good benefits from the investing. You can see right here, there's a picture of me before I was married and after I got married. So before I got married, I was gaining weight and I was turning into a little bowling ball. And after I got married, I kind of slimmed up. I started running long races with my wife, and I do several miles every other day and lift weights and all that. And a lot of you have noticed that transformation, and it's because I was committed to it, and my wife encouraged me to do better and get healthier and everything else. And I'm very, very happy that she did that for me. So I'd like to ask your permission. Give me a yes or no in the chat if this is okay. If I rock it out for you and I help you learn today and you see something that you haven't seen before, or you see the world in a different way, is it okay if I spend 10 minutes making an offer to you to join us in the Black Business School? Give me a yes in the chat If that's okay, or an okay, or go for it, or something like that, let me know if it's okay for me to make this offer to you, because I do not want to make you feel that I've just brought you in here to offer you something. I want to give you something first. And then at that point, if you want to continue, then it is totally up to you, and I will make the offer worth your while. I'm hoping that it is an offer you can't refuse. All right, so so thank you. I see the yeses. Thank you, Dr. Lee Stone, Elvin Cooper, Mark the Great, Quentin Parker. Mark the Great, by the way, I play Call of Duty with Mark. Mark is a good guy. I respect you, my brother. All right, so so let's start here. And I normally I put the words up, or the slides up, or the lines up one by one, but since we have the issue with the share, and I decided to go ahead and just pop it all up there at once. But what is a stock option? A lot of you have heard about stock options. You know what options are. You know what it means to have an option, have options. You know what it means to not have options. Not having options sucks, right? Is it better to have options, or to not have options? Which one? Is it yes or no? Is it better to have options than it is to not have options in life? Give me a yes or no. Is it better to have options? Just make sure we're clear. So options are good. Options, what are options? Well, options mean that you can do something if you want to do it, but you don't have to do it. So, for example, you can apply that to not just life, but even to stocks. So a stock option basically says that if the stock price hits a certain point, I have the right to buy your stock at that price on or before that certain date. So every stock option has two characteristics. It has a strike price, which is almost like an activation price, the price that we agree to sell the stock for, and also a time limit. Right. So think of it like a basketball game. If there's 5 minutes left on the clock, then basically that's a little bit like an option. If you're down by 5 points or 8 points, let's say you're down by 8 points and there's 5 minutes left on the clock, that means you got 5 minutes to close an 8 point gap if you want to win this game. Does that make sense? So with stock options, it might say something. You might have, say, 5 days to reach $92 a share. And if the stock price goes over $92 a share, then the seller of the option has to sell their stock at $92 a share. If it does not reach $92 a share, the clock runs out and no sale takes place. So that's all stock options are. It's kind of a bet. It's a huge market, though. It's a huge market. Nearly 40 million options are traded every day. And this is what I call the seasoning on your stock portfolio. If you understand stocks but don't understand options, you're missing a whole lot. It's like understanding birthday cakes but knowing nothing about icing, or excuse me, or understanding how to make a cheeseburger but not knowing anything about cheeseburger buns, or how to put lettuce and tomatoes or anything else on the cheeseburger. So you got the meat, but you don't have all the dressing. You got the cake, but you don't have the icing. So options to some extent are icing on the cake. Now here's the kicker. Here's where I'm going to show you that how you can level up your family. And this is something I do with my own life. So here's the secret that they don't talk about. A lot of people buy stock options. A lot of these people buy options on these meme stocks. There are lots of people on Wall Street bets that love to buy options. And they buy options like crazy. And they usually buy options that you can't exercise right away. These are called out of the money call options. And so they'll buy an option where the stock price is 90, and they'll buy an option that gives them the right to buy the stock at 92 or 93. If the stock price goes up past 93, then they make their money. If it doesn't go past 93, they lose. Well, all the research that I read in graduate school, every research paper I read in graduate school told me that buying those kinds of options is not a winning strategy. Those people do not make money most of the time. A lot of people, will do it. Well, why would they do it? Why would you do something if you know that it's not going to work most of the time? Well, think about this. And look at how many black boys try to become NBA basketball players. Look at the numbers, the millions of black boys that all try to become the next LeBron James. Is that a winning strategy for life? Is it smart for you to bet your whole life on trying to become an NBA player? Yes or no? Is that a good move? No, it's not. Because most 99.9% of those boys are never going to make a penny playing basketball. But because they're all dreamers, and they believe they're going to be that one, they all go for the same thing. It's or like or like you have situations where you have one man and 10 women trying to compete to date the same guy. All y'all can't date him. Only one of you gets to win the lottery ticket, but maybe 9 of them or 10 of them really believe they have a chance. So options are kind of the same way. If I go to or even another example, if I go to a casino and I say 70% of the people that go in this casino don't make money, well, people are still going to go in. Well, why? Because they think that they can be in that 30%. Well, I don't live my life like that, right? So here's the thing: when you talk about options, one person is looking to gamble, one person is looking for risk. That's the buyer. The buyer of the option is looking to take on risk, and they're willing to pay to take on the risk, just like a gambler willing to take on or pay money to go into Caesars and take a bet. The other person is looking to get rid of risk. They're trying to offload that risk. So if you are the person who's selling the option and you own the stock, you're basically taking money to allow them to gamble with your stock, right? And so they're the gambler, you're the house. So I don't buy stock options. I sell stock options. I don't do what everybody else is doing. I do the opposite. And that's how I make my money. So ultimately, when you're talking about this trade, I want to ask you all a question. So I remember I told you that the person buying the option is the gambler. The person selling the option, which would be you, is the house. In a casino, who usually wins the bet? Is it typically, is it the gambler or the house? Who usually wins on average between the gambler and the house? Answer that for me in the chat. Is it the gambler or is it the house? It's the house. The house always wins. So when I am going into a trade, I'm not trying to go in as the gambler. I want to go in as the house because the house always wins. So let me continue here. So what are you selling? Let me give you an example. Let's say the stock price is $80. Somebody believes the price is going to go to 82. So they pay you money and they say, hey, if I give you some money for this option, if the stock price goes above 82, then you got to sell it to me for 82. So you say, okay, cool. So you get a premium. You get money in your bank account right now, like literally when the trade takes place, that money goes right into your account. That money is there. That is yours. It does not go, it can't disappear. It's yours unless you give it away. It will not disappear. I love that. Right. And then if the stock price goes past 82, I say, congratulations, here's your stock. Take it for 82. I still make money because the price went up and I got my premium. So I'm good. I don't need to make all the money. So that's the kind of investor I am. I don't need to make all the money. I just want to get my cut. I don't need to be greedy. I don't want to take all the risks. I don't want to bet it all. I just want to make my money consistently and get my income so I can take care of my family. So today, what I'm going to show you is why is something that is really, I haven't seen anybody else talking about this anywhere out here. I'm not saying that they're all dumb or anything. They're not dumb, but this is something, an insight I came to in graduate school, and I'm going to explain to you why selling stock options is actually a better investment most of the time than real estate. I'm going to explain to you why selling stock options is easier than running a business. Also, I'm going to explain why stock options are better than simply buying stock and holding it. Okay, all these investment strategies are good. All these strategies are good. It's good to own real estate. It's good to run a business. It's good to own stock. All these things work. But stock options are the best way I have seen so far to make passive income. So let me show you this. Here's a picture of a house. Give me a yes in the chat if you see this house on the screen. Give me a yes if the house is up there. So this is the house I bought in Atlanta, and it was really hard to get. We had to fight to get it because the real estate market was so hot. But my wife liked it, and I love my wife, and she loves me, and we just both agreed that we really wanted this place, so we fought for it and we got it. So then we were trying to figure out, well, what do we do with this house? Okay, maybe we can rent it out and make some money, right? Airbnb it possibly, right? We couldn't because of the HOA, but still, we're trying to figure out what to do with it. So then I got a phone call when this happened. So I get a phone call from the neighbor who was very upset, legitimately so, because there was a leak in the sump pump that caused a leak to go from my house into their house. And all that nasty green stuff on the wall, that is mold. And, mold is nasty. It's deadly. You got to get it fixed. You got to, it messes people up. I had to take out the whole bathroom. And first of all, I had to apologize profusely to the person we bought the house from. I felt really bad. And then on top of that, I had to pay to get his side of the house fixed and my side of the house fixed and get a whole new bathroom. Right. And that was just a pain. I mean, it wasn't even just about the money. The money was bad enough. But what was really bad was like, I ain't got time for all that. I said, man, I don't mind owning property. I like it. I think real estate's good, but I don't want to be a landlord. It's just not that much fun, honestly, for me. And so I kind of just came to an epiphany. I came to an epiphany that selling stock options, when I compared it, when I would get up Monday morning and I would punch 10 buttons on my cell phone and have thousands of dollars in my bank account versus being a landlord and dealing with people and situations all month, I realized that selling stock options is a much easier and better way to make money than real estate. My annual ROI on the real estate, we have, me and my wife have over $1 million in property. So we are avid real estate investors. I recommend it highly for those of you that want to diversify your portfolio. This is not investment advice, but this is something that we do. So we believe in real estate investment, but it's not our best money maker. I make about 10 to 15% per year on my real estate investments, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. That's nothing compared to my stock options. Like literally 60% per year is a conservative number when it comes to the amount of money we make on stock options. Now, mind you, I have an advantage because I understand things about stocks and financial theory and how to look for the right stocks to sell options on. But when I apply that, the way I make the ease with which I make the money and the amount that I make is far superior than real estate. So I agree with Lyman. Lyman says real estate is a hedge. It is a beautiful, beautiful hedge. Absolutely. I am not at all telling you not to consider investing in real estate. What I'm trying to tell you, though, is that ain't my favorite way to make money. So let's keep going. So the second thing is, so I started several businesses. I love the freedom of having a business. I can't work for other people. I'm not fit for slavery. I don't know how many of y'all just don't feel like that slavery thing works for you. I don't know. Some of y'all might be business owners already. I bet most of you want to be business owners, and I encourage you to really pursue that, because I don't know about y'all, but I'm not fit for slavery, and I'm betting you, give me a yes in the chat if you agree. I'm betting you that the reason that you're here, that you're listening to somebody like me, is because you're not fit for slavery either. Slaves don't do well on this channel. I don't talk well with slaves. When I talk to slaves and get slaves advice, I get slaves fired from their jobs, right? And I consider getting fired from your job to be a wonderful thing, but I know we got bills to pay, so I totally get it. So it's not judging, no job shaming, but at the end of the day, I think we should be free, right? And so ultimately, I love the freedom. The money's better. I made a lot of money. I made millions of dollars. My net worth is on the internet somewhere. Somebody somehow magically calculated something. And so it's not a secret that I know how to make money, and I'm not ashamed of that. I just don't brag about it, because I think money is not the thing that defines you. Money should be the tool that allows you to live the life that you're supposed to live, right? Having money is not living your best life. Having money is not living your best life. Money gives you access to be able to go out and live your best life. Your best life is spending time with your kids. Your best life is going on trips around the world so you can elevate your spirit and cleanse yourself of all the craziness that you might have to deal with. Living your best life is doing what you want to do in the morning. Living your best life is getting plenty of sleep. Living your best life is not being around people every day who can't stand you on that job, right? That's living your best life. So money isn't your best life. I know a lot of people that have a lot of money that are miserable. It is the intelligent use of money that allows you to live your best life. Okay. So so here's my journey as an entrepreneur. It worked. Me and my brother started our business. We succeeded. We made money. But I got tired, man. I mean, I was working like 14 hours a day. And then the more I got out there and the more people knew my name, the more meetings I would have. And I don't know if anybody else is like this, but I'm actually an introvert, right? I may not seem that way. And if you met me in person, you would swear that I wasn't, but I am an introvert. I took a test, and on the introvert extrovert scale, I was way on the extreme. My wife was astonished at how much of it. She said, "I didn't know you were that much of an introvert." I said, "Yeah, I need that peace. I can't, it's hard for me to do a lot of interaction and engagement all the time." And so it would become exhausting. And so what I realized is, I said, gosh, I really don't want to just constantly have to work for money for the rest of my life. I started thinking deeply about how the money that you make could be applied in a certain way where you can free yourself from that day-to-day of getting up and going to a job, even if you own that job. So I've done a lot of businesses. It wore me out, and it came to another epiphany. The epiphany that I had was that passive income is much more enjoyable than active income. The ability to make money without having to get up and go to work. That isn't the idea that you feel like you have to get up and work every day to make money was something that was just ingrained in you as a child. And I'm not saying don't get up and do something. Everybody should have a sense of purpose. Everybody should have some goal they're accomplishing, something that you have to do. Don't become a person that has nothing to do, because then you'll sit around and smoke weed and watch Netflix all day. I don't want you to do that. But at the same time, I think there's this assumption that you got to get up and work to generate money. It's one that you want to get rid of, and it's certainly not one you want your children to be raised with. Okay, give me a yes in the chat if you understand what I'm saying. Also, give me a yes in the chat if you'll consider what I'm saying about raising your kids to think differently. Remember, you are setting the table. You are doing things right now such that when your legacy is laid out, your children are going to have a different life from the one that you were able to have when you were growing up, believing that you got to work like a field slave in order to just barely pay the bills. Okay. So here's the third piece now. I've owned stock in a lot of companies. I own stock in hundreds of companies. I love stock ownership because that's the easiest way to start a business, because I can go in, if I decide, if I'm looking at Activision Blizzard making money in the gaming industry, well, I can get in that industry. I don't have to do any work or learn the skill. I just go buy stock in the companies that are making money in the gaming industry, right? So I own stock in hundreds of companies. My students own stock. Stock market participation is defined as the number one way that people go from being middle class to wealthy. The number one factor that differentiates rich people from middle class and poor people is stock market participation. If you ever want to behave, if you want to become a millionaire, first thing you got to do is start acting like one. The way to start acting like a billionaire is to invest in the stock market. Give me a yes if you understand that. Give me a yes if you are either invested in the market or you're going to start investing consistently. I need you to tell me yes in the chat. I need everybody to answer, because this is really important for you and your family. You have to do this. You must do this. It's extremely important. I don't care about the conspiracy theories. I don't care what people out there are saying. People like me, I can help you invest safely. You got to participate, because if you don't, you're missing out on the massive, the greatest amount of wealth creation in the history of this country. I don't know how long this is going to last, but I assume the next 100 years are going to be something like the last 100 years, in the sense that rich people are always going to kind of have an advantage in this country. Okay. So ultimately what my dream is, Dr. King had a dream. My dream is that we have the same percentage of people participating in the stock market as you have in the millionaire class in America. We already have more. We already have more than the average American. Most of the people that follow me invest in the stock market, but I really want everybody to do it, because this is how you set your kids up for life. So stocks are awesome. I love them. I buy them every single week or whenever I get extra money. The same way women, or not women, with men, the same way you might have a dude that goes and buys pairs of Air Jordans, and a woman that goes to the store and buys red bottoms. I buy stock. I don't want red bottoms. I don't need Air Jordans. I know the CEO of the Air Jordan brand, so I got to be careful. Larry Miller's actually coming to the All Black National Convention, and he's a good guy, and I respect him immensely. He's a wonderful brother. So this is not a diss on Jordans, but I don't. If I get Jordans, they're free. They get. I'm not. I don't. That's not what I do. I buy stock. I'd rather have Nike stock than have Nike shoes. So ultimately, here's the problem with stock, though. Here's a shortcoming. How many of you have noticed how badly the market did, early in early 2022? Did anybody notice that the market was dropping? And the worst part about it dropping was that the expectation was it was going to keep dropping. There wasn't any, sort of optimistic perspective out there really that was saying that it was going to, sort of return back to what it was. So when the market drops, if you're buying stock hoping you can make money with the stock prices going up, well, what do you do if they don't go up at all? Well, that's where options come into play. You can sell stock options even when the market is down. I was making money when the market went up. I was making money when the market went down. And I did this every single week, consistently, by picking certain stocks, calibrating my risk, and making certain investments in a certain way. I would literally go fishing for stocks every week, sell the options on the stocks that I selected based on specific criteria that I put together in a proprietary method that I use. And I was able to do this consistently like clockwork. Okay. And it does work, and it's something that I love. And so the third epiphany that I had was that a bird in the hand is better than 10 birds in the bush. You don't have to sell your stocks to generate income. You don't have to wait for the stock price to go up, and you don't have to be greedy. You can let other people take the risk. And that's what I did. Because remember, whenever you have a stock price at, say, $80 a share, that stock can go up or it can go down. You can sell that potential to other people. There are people out there. There are bulls who think it's going to go up. So you can say, hey, give me $2. And if the stock price goes up, then you can buy it from me for $82, or let me have some profit and you can have the rest. Right. I don't necessarily, and it's really my personality type. I am not a person who is caught up in what could happen. I'm the person who likes to see what did happen, or what will happen, or what is happening, or what has happened. Like I don't really want to invest in possibility. I'd rather have the money in my account. I like the bird in the hand. You can bet on the 10 in the bush, but I want the bird in the hand because I got to feed those birds to my family. I'm not trying to go out here and bet it all and hope for the best. So there we go. So that's the third epiphany. So let me ask you a question. So you said if I nailed it, that you'd allow me to make a special offer. You'd allow me to kind of lay this out for you. How did I do? Give me a yes in the chat if you feel like I gave you some information that changed your perspective, helps you feel like a stronger investor, helps you see things in a different way. Give me a yes in the chat so that I can know that this was not a waste of your time. I try my best to make sure that you guys, whenever you listen to me, I want to put something in your brain that's going to change your life. I see a lot of you. I saw a ton of you here at the Power Networking Conference. And when I meet you, just in case you're wondering what I'm looking for, I'm not really looking for you to tell me that you recognize me. I think that's great and I appreciate that, but I'm not out here trying to be a celebrity. I'm trying to really move the needle. I'm trying to really get stuff done. I'm not waiting on anybody else to do it. I'm not waiting on Superman. I believe that we are the Superman that we need. And I want to say thank you to Elvin Cooper and Dana and Ashari and Brandon Butts and Devontae and Dr. Lee Stone and Rich K. Thank you for saying yes. And thank you, Rolanda. I appreciate you very, very much. So here we go. I'm not going to take much of your time, but I want to tell you guys about something we're doing in the Black Business School. And I hope you'll find it interesting enough to take it into consideration, make an investment. So we have something called the Dr. Boyce Watkins Passive Recurring Income Machine, or Dr. Boyce Prime. That's what it's called. That's the URL. That's what's on the screen, drboyceprime.com. It is a new coaching program that we have that allows you, where I consistently work with you on how to generate safe, passive income through the sale of stock options. Every week we get together and we talk consistently about the options that I'm buying in my own portfolio, the companies that I'm using to sell options on, and which stocks are generating the most income. I do the research for you. I dig things through, and I teach you how to do a lot of it as well. And then I'm consistently upgrading it, consistently updating it, using everything that I know to help you figure out which stocks will generate what amount of income, how to make certain moves in terms of using leverage in the right way. How to pick the right time horizons, how to manage your risk so that you can prepare yourself for potential downturn in the value of the stock. I take you through what I call the Dr. Boyce method, which is an excellent way of picking stocks. I have an 11-step process I use to decide which stocks I want to put in my portfolio. I give you access to all that. Okay, so here's the deal. All right, so here's what you get basically. I'm going to read through this very quickly, but I'm going to lay it out for you. You effectively get access to bi-weekly coaching calls. So every 2 weeks, I meet with the students. Some of you might have been in the original boot camp. The original boot camp, quite frankly, was that first run where I wanted to refine the technique, and the overwhelming majority of you were very, very happy. And so I said, okay, well, to continue this, let's do this as a monthly sort of thing. So we're not going to meet every week or every month. We're going to meet every 2 weeks, and we're going to have coaching calls. Number 2, you'll have access to the Dr. Boyce Watkins Financial Juneteenth Investing Masterclass, where I teach you everything you need to know to become the perfect investor. I show you everything you need to know on the stock side, because I want you to be good on stocks as you're moving into options. And we're going to focus primarily on the sell side of options, where you're generating consistent income. This is a program for anybody that wants to generate consistent income by selling stock options. You also get access to what Dr. Boyce is buying. That is where every single week I curate a list of 4 to 5 stocks that I provide for my students that, based on my research, are good long-term investments. These stocks are stocks that are expected by analysts and others, and all my sources I look at to do well. And these are places you can just set your money, set it and forget it. You can plant your money there, and your money will grow over time. Also, you get access to the Family Investment Support Group. This is something that a lot of people don't talk about when it comes to getting wealth. The best way for you to generate wealth with this method is to do what my family's doing. My family, we have a family investment club. And in fact, if you want to share your membership with your relatives, then I'm okay with that. Right. So we have a family investment club where we pool our money together. So if you're a person that doesn't have as much money as you need to make the investments that you want to make, well, then you can get with a cousin or get with a sibling or get with your parents or get with your kids and pool your money together, and everybody can win. That's what I do. I literally generate a pile of income for my family and I dole it out. I pass it out to them. And so what my wife was helping me understand is that a lot of our families struggle to get along. Some of you can't. I don't know how many of you, give me a yes or no if you got some relatives that you just kind of don't really know how you're going to invest with them or work with them or do a business with them at all. I don't know about y'all, but I have relatives that I would probably like call the police on if they came to my house. I'm not going to lie. But so a lot of us have either relatives we can't work with, or we have relatives that we want to work with, or relatives that we can work with, but we want to make sure we protect those relationships. Right. So what my wife threw out there, which I thought was a great idea, she's a therapist. She's a licensed therapist and a full professor of social work. And what she helped me understand is that when you're talking about things like trauma and the ability to simply get along, that is a huge barrier to wealth. So she suggested that we include support groups for your family investment club. So what I did was in the material, I include a training I did on how to form a family investment club, all how you structure the rules, what the process needs to be, stuff like that. And then she is going to be available as a counselor, kind of like a judge moderator, to help you and your relatives get along so y'all can get to making money. When you're fighting, you can't make money. When y'all ain't talking, you can't make money. When y'all want to deal with each other, you can't make money. So you want to bring each other together and stay together. Like Al Green said, let's stay together, right? You need to stay together because that's how you make your money. And so we want to help your family stay together. That's really something we believe in deeply in the Black Business School, and resurrecting the Black family is a critical aspect of Black wealth. Let me keep going. You also get access to all the investment club training programs, blueprints, and materials. In addition to that, you get access to what I call Dr. Boyce money makers. These are stocks that I am personally buying and selling in order to generate income. I discover all kinds of possibilities every week. I literally go through and I'm scouring stuff and looking at stuff and analyzing data and breaking down numbers. And literally, if you're not sure what to do, you can just say, well, what are you doing, Dr. Boyce? And I can explain to you what I'm doing and why. And if it goes really well, I can say, here's why it went well. If it doesn't go well, then I can say, okay, here's what happened, but here's how you can protect yourself, right? So ultimately, I give you access to my Dr. Boyce money makers. Last but not least, I give you access to a stock options training program I put together for those of you that want to get on the buy side, that want to buy some options. I show you all the different straddles and strangles and iron condors and iron butterflies, all the different methods of buying options on the buy side. Last but not least, I give you access to Black Money 102 Expanded Pack, which is basically a series of lectures I've done on stock market investing that will change your life. I think I'm a good teacher. I love teaching my people. I'm passionate about this. I'm not just pretending to be this enthusiastic. This is who I really am. Y'all know this. I've done, I think, about 20,000 videos on the internet, literally up until this point, and we've gotten over 500,000 views. And it ain't because I'm pretending. It's hard to pretend that many times. All right. So here's the deal. So the value of all the materials that you get with the program is $8,692. If you add them up and look them up individually, that's the cost you would have to pay. But actually, to join this program, the price is only $29.99 per year. So that is the value and the cost of joining this program right now if you do the annual option. So the URL, drboyceprime.com, is right there. If you want to bounce out and go sign up with the annual option right now, you can. You're welcome to go. The URL is right there and available for you to go join. Now, for today only, though, for the next 24 hours, you can actually get $1,000 off that. Actually, more than $1,000, $1,200 off that, and actually join for $17.99 per year. This price is available for 24 hours. Some of y'all that are listening live, when I'm doing this presentation at midnight, like literally after midnight Eastern time, I did it this way deliberately because I didn't want to really talk to a lot of people about this yet. You're the first ones. You're the absolute first ones. I did talk to the people at the Power Networking Conference about it, but there's like maybe 80 people in the room or something. So you guys that are on this channel that see this video can have access to this offer for the next 24 hours. Okay. All right. So I want to ask you a question. If this made you an extra $50,000 a year, would it be worth it? If I showed you how to make an extra $20,000 a year, would it be worth it? Or what if it was only $10,000? Like, what if I helped you make $10,000 a year? Give me a yes or no. I mean, what do you think? I mean, if you made $10,000 a year, which is a really low number, if you have even minimal investment capital, that's not really hard to do, actually. Would that be worth it? Yes or no? Okay. I see Don and Elvin and Rashonda and Dr. Lee Stone. Okay, yeah, I think it's worth it because it's simple ROI. I'm not offering this to you as some sort of charity, or I'm not asking you to say I'm doing this because I like Boyce. This isn't a simple ROI. This is a simple flip. This says I invest this much so I can make that much. And believe me, if you're not making more money, then we're going to talk because I'm going to make sure that you're on that boat. This is something that does work, and I'm taking you literally into the world of the investing process that I personally use with my own money My wife would not let me do stupid things with our money. And this is what we do in our own family. So just to give you some testimonials, in case you're wondering what the students say, here's a quote from a brother named Danny Dean. He says, "I love the information given, the openness and honesty, the ability to communicate with Dr. Boyce, to ask questions or to gain positive insight." And I like that comment because that is true. I do my best to be as open and honest as I can be. I like to share as much information as I can come up with. I like to communicate as much as I can and answer as many questions as possible. So in fact, a lot of times I'll just do a Q&A where I just want to answer all your questions so that you can be fully informed on everything that we're doing together. So in case your money's tight and you don't want to do the annual option comes with a substantial discount, but there is a monthly option. The monthly fee to join this program is $3.99 per month. So if you don't want to do annual and you want to try monthly instead, then that price is there. Now, let me give you a surprise. If you sign up for the next 24 hours, that monthly price goes from $3.99 to $2.39. So, so that's a discount for those of you that want to do the monthly option. Okay, this is early bird pricing. This is pre-launch. You literally are seeing this. You will probably come back in a couple of days and this video won't even be here because I wanted to go through this. I want to go through this process and make sure I can talk it out in a way that you understand. And in fact, I'm going to stay on for a minute and kind of let you guys ask some questions, and I'll answer as many questions as we can because I really want to explain how excited I am about this and how well this stuff works. Okay. So let me give you some more testimonials. Let's see. Inez Boykin says, "I love how you give everyday illustrations to explain what you're saying." And basically, my wife calls me the analogy king. Every single thing in finance that I find to be confusing, I try to find an analogy in the real world that we can relate it to help us understand what it means. Okay. That's what, so I love analogies. Analogies are just fun because here's the thing. I'm not so good at telling you how to memorize things because I'm not a memorizer. I want you to understand things, and understanding is different from memorizing something. When you memorize it, you can just recite a fact. Understanding it means you just feel it in your bones. Like if I connect and I explain in starting a business with, I compare it to starting a relationship or marrying somebody or falling in love. Well, you know that feeling. You know what it feels like to fall in love. You know what it feels like to have sex. You know what it feels like maybe to get married if you've done that, or to have a bad marriage, right? or a good one, right? That first kiss, all these things, right? So a lot of times I love to explain finance in a way that links to all the other things that you've known your whole life so that it makes it easier. You can internalize it and you can explain it to other people. Because here's the other thing too. I don't want to really teach students. It's okay for you to be a student, but I want your student status to be temporary. I'd rather teach teachers. I don't want to just teach students. I want to teach teachers. Because if anybody in here, give me a yes or no if you are a parent. Give me a yes or no if you are a parent or you're going to become a parent. Yes or no. How many parents we have in the building? How many people are going to be parents one day and have kids? How many of you are maybe parents to a child that isn't yours? How many of you are role models, mentors, football coaches, community service providers at some sort of a boys club or something? Give me a yes if you have children or young people that look up to you that are coming to you for information. Yes, I see you, Brandon and Iman and Lisa, Diane, and Joseph. Your role is really important. So I'm not teaching you just so you can be a student. I really want you to embrace your role as a teacher. If you are a grandparent, you are the ultimate teachers. You're the OG teachers. You're the most important teachers in the community. You are the elders, right? So ultimately, I don't want to teach teachers. I don't want to teach students. I want to teach teachers. I want to teach you in a way where you feel so confident and you feel so comfortable with it that you can go spread that gospel. And I want you to be very conscious of it, right? So that you can go and make sure that even if I got hit by a milk truck tomorrow, that everything that you hear that is of value to you is going to benefit your life. Okay, give me a yes in the chat if you will commit to me right now that anything that I show you, you're going to go and it's going to be each one teach one. You're going to be the obnoxious person at the family reunion who's going to be telling your relatives about investing. I want to know that. I need some other people willing to be a little obnoxious with me in terms of sharing something with your relatives that are going to break those generational curses, make your family better, make your lives better, make your children better, and really pursue Black excellence. Black excellence is not given. Black excellence must be earned. All right. So here's another comment from Jose Lopez. He says, "It has totally changed the way I look at the market. I would think there's no way to learn this market stuff. Now I'm filled with hope that I can use this information to make positive changes in my family's life." So no matter what your educational background is, this can work for you. No matter where your income level is, this can work for you. I remember, if your income isn't where you want it to be, I show you how to create a family investment club where you can level up your income by working together with other people. We also give you the tools to come together and stay together so that you can do this as a group, right? So this is not just done on an individual level. So the question you should ask yourself is, what would an extra $3,000 a month do for your life? I want you to imagine that. Imagine if you made an extra $3,000 a month. I have students that are making thousands and thousands of dollars a month. What would an extra $3,000 a month do for your life? Well, the average car note in America is $503. The average mortgage payment on a $300,000 house is $2,071. So if you lived in a $300,000 house and you had a mortgage payment, or excuse me, a car note of $500, then you would have $426 per month left over. That would be your residual income. If you took that 426 per month and invested it every month in the S&P 500 for a 20-year period, that becomes $103,000. That's generational wealth. That's how you level up and you pass things on to your kids so they're going to do well. You can go get you an index universal life policy. You can go out and buy some more real estate. There's so many moves you can make, and it allows you to save money and to do better within your budget without actually having to cut anything. You're increasing your income so you can literally spend the way you've been spending before, but you can actually save and invest more than you ever have. So let's keep going. Let me go ahead and just finish this off real quick. So I'm going to throw in a fast action bonus. So the first 10 of you that sign up for the annual option, there are some special bonuses that we will offer you. One is you can get 2 free VIP passes to the 2023 All Black National Convention. That's a $1,398 value. If you email support@theblackbusinessschool.com, that's support@theblackbusinessschool.com, show your receipt for your annual membership. This is for the annual signees. The first 10, you will get 2 free VIP passes where you'll be my special guest to the All Black National Convention. The second thing, you can get access to a small VIP mastermind group that I'm going to have. It's going to be a consultation. I'm going to bring a small group of people together, talk to you individually about what you're trying to do, where you are with investing, where your personal issues are, and we can work through a lot of that. So that's the second bonus. The third bonus is I will mail you, snail mail you personally, signed autographed copies of my books, Black American Money 1, Black American Money 2, and Black American Money 3 as a welcome to the program. So that's what you get if you are one of the first 10 signees at the annual level. Just take a screenshot of your membership and then email that to support@theblackbusinessschool.com. We have a great support team. So the value of all the bonuses, if you add them up, is $21.97. And so just to give you a quick recap of everything you get with the program, you get access to the bi-weekly coaching calls where we're going to meet every 2 weeks, talk turkey, talk through everything. You'll be able to leave me questions. I will answer every single question that is asked by everyone in the program. 2, you get access to the Financial Juneteenth Investing Masterclass, which is a masterful layout of everything you need to know to become a great investor. Once you go through that material, you'll really be comfortable with stocks and bonds and everything else. Number 3, you'll get access to What Dr. Boyce is Buying, where every week I will tell you what stocks that I'm buying, what stocks I've researched, and why I like them, and all these other things. Number 4, you get access to monthly support coaching groups with my wife, Dr. Alicia, to help you and your family or your friends. It could be your play cousins. They have to be your real cousins. Can come together and talk about what you're doing with your family, get tips on how to make sure that your family group survives and that you're successful. Also, you get access to the Investment Club training program, blueprints and materials, access to the Dr. Boyce Money Makers, where I show you all the stocks that I'm personally selling options on. Next, you get access to the stock options training program in case you want to get on the buy side or whatever the case may be. And then last but not least, you get access to Black Money 102 expanded topics on stock markets. That is part of my stock market investing program. All right. So you have these choices. You have 2 choices on this conversation. I appreciate you all letting me share this offer with you, and I'm going to be done in a second. And some of you, again, if you've already made your decision, you already want to sign up, then feel free to just go to drboyceprime.com, and actually you can use the discount code annual offer, all one word, to get the annual discount, or the discount code monthly offer, all one word, to get the discount on the monthly offer. So somebody type that in the chat if you could. Use annual offer, all one word, to get the annual discount, or use the code monthly offer, all one word, to get the monthly discount. Okay. All right. So you have 2 choices. You can take no action at all. Okay. You could just say, I just want to go and, okay, thanks. This is great, but I don't want to do this. Okay. Because remember, it expires in 24 hours. So the problem, though, is that if you don't make a move, you're losing money. You're losing money. And let me tell you why. one of the people I invested for, my own mother, told me that my grandmother had left $15,000 10 years ago. True story. That was sitting in the bank account and it wasn't gaining any interest. That money literally, she said it was worth 15,000 10 years ago. It's worth about $15,020 now. Like she's made literally about maybe $15-20 worth of interest in the past 10 years. It's some ridiculously low amount of money. And so basically, when I started investing that money, she was able to generate income from my grandmother's inheritance money, which she wasn't able to do before. So if you could be making $1,000 a month, well, over 12 months, you're losing $12,000 a year. That's money that's being passed up that you're not going to have, etc. If you could be making $2,500 a month, well, that's $30,000 a year. So if you take no action at all, unfortunately, and I don't want to be pessimistic on this, but the truth of the matter is that when you don't move, you're losing opportunities. Okay. So the next thing is you can do it all by yourself. You could just say, well, I could just go learn this on my own and figure this all out. That's cool. I mean, I support you 100% no matter what you choose to do. But here's the thing. If you do it on your own, you won't have access to all the techniques I put together through a lot of trial and error on how to minimize your risk. So you'd have to learn those things the hard way instead of benefiting from all the years of knowledge that I've kind of picked up on this topic. Also, you won't get action alerts. So when I discover new stocks that are paying really well or things are going really well with these particular investments, you won't get that. You won't be part of the investment collective. So you won't get the benefit of the brain trust of all the students. There are hundreds of students in this program. So the students that are in the program share knowledge and information. So you wouldn't have access to that. You wouldn't get direct coaching from me and the team. I'm still your friend. You can still see me on YouTube and stuff like that. But I have to treat my students a little differently because that's just kind of out of respect for them. They're investing in the Black Business School, so we have to give them a little something extra that we can't do just for anybody. Okay. Also, you won't get the insider secrets on options, strike prices, things like that. There is a process for every single thing that I do, and I explain all of that in detail as we're going through it. Okay. So to give you one last testimonial, Letitia Parker says, Dr. Boyce is so thorough in his explanations. The examples he gives are very clear and easy to understand. I highly recommend the courses because you will most definitely get your money's worth. Actually, you get more than your money's worth because he goes above and beyond in making sure that the students learn what they need to be successful. He's simply the best. So that's a comment from one of our students, Letitia Parker. She was part of the beta testing boot camp that we did, where we went through the whole Prime program in a 4-week period. And one of the things we just realized is that we wanted to keep this party going. So my students, I'm going to talk to them about the offer on Monday in a private setting, but I wanted to do this now right here with you guys in the middle of the night because I really wanted to kind of go through it and make sure my thinking was kind of clear. All right, so here's the last point, and also, by the way, if you want to go take advantage of the offer right now, you can go to drboyceprime.com, and if you want to take advantage of the annual discount, just use that code annual offer when you sign up, all one word. If you want to take advantage of the monthly discount, use the code monthly offer, all one word. Okay. And so one thing I want to lay out here for sure, so that you understand that this is risk-free, is that I want to give you the Dr. Boyce hassle-free refund guarantee. That means that if you're not happy for any reason, if you get in there and you feel like it's not for you, or you feel like we didn't do our job, or any reason at all, you don't have to explain it to us. All you got to do is email support@theblackbusinessschool.com, and they will give you a free refund in the first 30 days. Also, on top of that, because we're so confident that you're going to love the program and you're going to benefit, we will literally throw in a free $1,000 course for you for free as a thank you, as an apology, whatever it is, right? So this is completely hassle-free, no questions asked. We want to make sure you're good. I do not want your money if you do not feel that we're helping to level up your life. So let's lay out a couple last details. Okay, so to take advantage of the offer, you can go to drboyceprime.com. You can use the code annual offer, all one word, to take advantage of the annual offer. You can use the code monthly offer to receive the monthly discount. The annual price, the regular annual price, is $29.99 per year. You guys can sign up for $17.99 per year. That's the $1,200 discount if you do it within the next 24 hours. The monthly fee is $3.99 per month, but if you sign up now, then the next 24 hours, you can get it for $239 per month. That is your annual fee. That is your monthly fee for as long as you're a member of the program. That amount will not change at any point ever. Okay. All right. So let's see here. So does anybody have any questions? I appreciate you guys hearing me out on this. Let's see. I don't know how long this took. I guess it took about an hour. So I don't know if, but I'd love to answer some questions too. Does anybody have any questions? And the URLs on the screen, and I'll also put the codes up there so you can get the codes in case you forget them or need them. So does anybody have any questions? Okay, let me see. I'm gonna look at your comments here. Okay, the comments I see are okay. Liman says, I bought my annual subscription. All right, Liman. Well, I look forward to meeting you, Mr. Ortega. Congratulations to, is it Mr. or Ms.? I assume it's Mr. Congratulations to you, and God bless you. And I look forward to seeing you in class. Let's see here. Kirk says, I'm taking the options course now, and I've already had a 10x return on the cost of the course. I highly recommend Dr. Boyce's courses. Okay, so these are, I'm not asking for any of these testimonials. These are things that are coming in, and I appreciate anybody that's seen it already, that's already doing it. I hope you will share your story because I just want to make sure everybody knows that we can't do everything for free because we hire Black people. We don't take money from corporations and all that stuff. So we have to raise money. We have to run the school. Everything costs money. It costs money to run a business. But at the same time, I do not want charity. I do not want your money if you're not 100% happy. If you don't feel this takes you to the next level, then don't even mess with me. I mean, because that makes me a bad person. I don't want to do that. I don't want to hurt you. I want to make your life better. Okay. Let's see. Quentin says, Dr. Boyce, what is your criteria for researching stocks? That's a long process, man. I am constantly reading financial information. I'm constantly taking the temperature of the economy. I'm constantly leaning on all kinds of stuff. And when you study this stuff as long as I have, I have forgotten more stuff about financial topics than most 60-year-olds will ever learn in their life. Like seriously, I mean, I'm not bragging or anything like that. But remember, I've been studying this stuff intensely since I was 18 years old. And I was the number one finance student on the entire University of Kentucky campus because I studied like a maniac. I would take 20, 30 credit, 20. Actually, I had one semester where I took 27 credit hours in one semester. And so I've always been committed to learning this stuff. And when you get a PhD, it just really pushes you to go to a level of understanding that you didn't even think was possible. It's almost like explaining to somebody what it means to be a Navy SEAL. Like Navy SEALs are just on a different plane. But imagine a Navy SEAL program that lasts 4 or 5 years. That's kind of so my process is one where I go wherever I need to go to get what I need to learn. And I see things and they just come to me instinctually because this stuff has been internalized so deeply. Okay. So I hope that helps. Let's see here. Chadrick says, how long is the course? It is a monthly membership program. So it's not quite just a course. It is a coaching program. There's accountability. It's more of a long-term training camp where I come in as your sensei and you're one of your guides. And I have other friends that I'm going to bring in as well. And we just kind of work with you as long as you want to work with us. And so when you join, if you feel at some point like, hey, okay, I'm done. This is good. I'm ready to move on to something else. That's okay. We will always give you our blessing. But if you want us to be there right with you, because the economy is always changing, opportunities are always evolving, we can just sort of, keep working together forever. And also, just so you know, I am looking right now to form an investment club with some of the students. I just need to get the administrative backdrop. I need to get somebody that can work as the treasurer to kind of keep up with everything. But that's also something I'd like to do with the students is form sort of a group investment club that is within that is consistent with securities laws. Because one of the reasons I can't just do a lot of group investing the way I want to is because there's laws for people that like me, they have big platforms. You can't just go and get people invested in stuff without necessarily going through proper channels. So just so you know, I'm working with some private equity experts that we have in the Black Business School to develop a legalized framework that allows us to really pull our money together. Because actually one of my big dreams is I want to raise $1 million amongst all the people that are kind of connected and go buy like or maybe more than $1 million, I don't know, and go buy like a bunch of farmland or something, like I really want to do stuff like that. And that's going to happen. Okay. But until then, my main goal is to start here and I want to increase your income and I'm going to help you increase your income in the same way that I increase my own. All right. So let's see here. Let's see. Will this be an add-on to the recent covered calls class or is this separate? This is separate. My name is Corey, but it'll be an add-on in the sense that For the students, I'm going to have a separate conversation with those that are already enrolled in the program tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we're going to meet at 8 o'clock. And basically, you guys will have an extended amount of time to take advantage of this special discounted offer. Okay, so just trust me that tomorrow night when we talk, I'm going to have a different conversation with the students. It'll be private. This is a little bit more public, but the private conversation with students is definitely coming. Let's see. Dr. Lee Stone says, I just joined. All right. Well, congratulations to you, brother. I look forward to seeing you in class. DDS says he's reminding everybody that when you go to drboyceprime.com, use the code words annual offer or monthly offer as the discounted code. And I want to say thank you to DDS because he is the best moderator in the history of the world. And I just love you to death. Lady Doc, current students get discounts. Yeah, well, that discounted price is pretty steep. I mean, we took $1,200 off for the year and also $160 per month off if you did the monthly option. So it's a pretty steep discount, and it'll be available to you for the next 24 hours. So just go to drboyceprime.com and you can use the code words annual offer, all one word, or monthly offer, all one word. Okay. Beatrice Brewer says, I'm definitely thinking about it. Okay. Well, that's fair enough. And I appreciate that. Thank you for giving me your consideration. Let's see here. I'm looking more of your questions. What are pink sheets? Basically, these are stocks that I don't really buy. I don't mess with the stocks on the pink sheets and the over-the-counter stocks. That's a very bad market to invest in. It's a great way to lose money. A lot of people like penny stocks because they're always thinking, well, if I buy a stock for a penny and it grows to 5 pennies, I can quintuple my money or something like that. It doesn't usually work that way. It's a very bad market. It's very hard to sell. You want liquidity. You want a market that's got a lot of activity. So the options market is a great place to work. And in fact, liquidity is one of the factors that I use in terms of selecting the types of stocks to sell options on. I want stocks where I can get in and get out if I need to. I want to be able to go get my money quickly and not have any sort of hiccups or what they call market frictions that might slow down the ability for the money to move where I need it to move. Okay. So all that's considered as well. Let's see. I'm trying to get the promo code. It's coming up invalid. Joseph, let me see if I can show you. Let me see if I can share my screen here. Dr. Boyce. So if you go to drboyceprime.com, here's what you should see. Let me open up an incognito browser. All right, here we go. And actually, what I'll do also, who knows? Maybe there's because I picked a vanity URL, but it might not have propagated through the web. So here's a direct link as well. If you guys, hopefully you guys can see that. All right. So here's what you can do. Right. So let me show you. All right. So if I open up the page, you get here, right? The Dr. Boyce Watkins Passive Recurring Income Machine. Here's where you can pick either the annual option or the monthly option. Okay. So if I pick that monthly option, then what I can do is on this page, it says apply, add coupon code. And then I will put monthly offer, all one word, not separate words, all one word. And then you hit apply. So watch this. See, the price is $3.99 per month. So you hit apply, it drops to $2.39. You see that? So the same thing is true if you do the annual offer. If you do the annual offer, then you can hit join annual plan. And you get here and you can hit add coupon code, put an annual offer, all one word, and then hit apply, and it drops from $2.99 to $17.99 per year. So I hope that helps in terms of seeing it properly. I hope that helps you. Okay. Let's see here. Can anyone outside the U.S. invest in these stocks? Yeah, I don't see why not. I think you might have to go through a certain bank or something in your country that'll let you invest. But most countries you can, yes. There are actually lots of investors in the U.S. markets that live in other countries. So you might want to go to a bank that's international in your country and ask them how you can invest in U.S. stocks. Where can I find answers to our questions from class, the Prime one specifically? John, if you log in at drboyceprime.com, or if you actually go to the Black Business School and log in, you can actually get in and take a look. I've been answering student questions, so a lot of your questions are listed in there. And also I'm going to answer some questions in class as well. We're meeting for class tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. So I sent you guys an email. I'll send you another one pretty soon. Let's see here. I'm in the options course. Over the 4 weeks I've been in class, I've already made thousands. Wow. So Stephen Lattimore says, I'm in the options class, and over 4 weeks in the class, I've already made thousands. Good for you. Very happy for you. I was hoping you would continue the courses after asking students in the survey. Yes, I did ask you in the survey. An overwhelming majority of you wanted to continue the party. And that's what this is all about. That's what led me to put together this offer. And as a thank you and as a reward for those of you that made the move early, that's where the discount comes from. Okay. So there we go. Stephen Lattimore. Stephen, please tell them in the chat. You and I don't know each other. I didn't tell you to say this. You're in the class, and I'm really happy though that you're making money. If you're not making money, then that means I want to figure out how to help you do that. Let's see here. Next question. Vietnam vet applied for food stamps to subsidize, was denied. Went to the grocery store and saw lines of immigrants. Okay. Okay. Well, that's outside the scope of this conversation, but maybe one day we could talk about that. I did well, and you're a Vietnam veteran. Well, thank you for your service. I'll say that. My father was in Vietnam, and anybody here that's a veteran, I want to make it clear. I respect you, and I would never let anybody disrespect a veteran, because veterans are willing to put their lives on the line for this country and for other people. And I think whatever beef a person has with the government, you leave that off the table when you're talking to a veteran. Veterans all deserve respect. If I could give every veteran in America $150,000 a year for life, I would, because I think it's that important. All right, so let's see here. So if just a reminder, if you want to take advantage of the offer, which is available for the next 24 hours, you can go to drboyceprime.com. Use the code annual offer or monthly offer, depending on which offer you pick. It's all one word. So if you do the annual option, put in annual offer. If it's monthly, put in monthly offer as your discount code and hit apply. It'll take the money right off right then. And I put in the link, the direct link as well, in case Dr. Boyce Prime doesn't work for any reason. Okay. All right, guys. Well, my wife is waiting on me, and I got to go in here and go spend time with my honey before we go to bed. And I just want to say thank you all for hanging out with me. It really means a lot to me that you guys were willing to come in after midnight and go with me through this pitch and in this discussion and this offer. It has helped me. I've gained a lot of information from talking to you. And if you have any questions for me or anything about anything we're doing in the Black Business School, our support line is support@theblackbusinessschool.com. And the offer will be available for the next 24 hours. So you can go to drboyceprime.com and use the code words, either annual offer, that's all one word, to take the annual option, annual offer, all one word, or monthly offer, all one word. So for the next 24 hours, it'll be up there. So have a good night, everybody. And I will see you all very, very soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.